Thank you, Sandy, and thank you to WPCA for giving us this opportunity to present here. As Sandy said, my name is Inu Rana on screen as well. I'm highly passionate about manufacturing. I come from a very strong manufacturing background. So there are two parts to my presentation today. One is outlining the work that we're doing at Western Sydney University in terms of supporting the innovation ecosystem and developing, in fact, the innovation ecosystem from ground up, and the reasons why we're doing it and how we're doing it. That's the first part. And the second part goes to the research that I'm doing across Greater Western Sydney in particular. So I'm doing a PhD at the moment, pre-advanced now, and done over the last 4 years, studied the Western Sydney manufacturing in depth. So some findings and some observations from there as well. So what are we doing at Western Sydney University? So we, Launch Pad sits within the Division of Research, Enterprise and International. And we strongly believe that we want to create global impact through our excellence in research. And we have a very outward focus, and we are building strategic alliances, and we want to address the complex problems that are in the world today, and bringing the society, environment, health, and economic challenges and together and addressing those challenges. So that's what we want to do now. REI provides Western a platform to engage with industry, with the government, with communities. And again, the focus is on addressing those problems that I just outlined. Now, innovation and entrepreneurship is at the heart of what we do, and we believe that it is through innovation and entrepreneurship that we can navigate today's world. And we can sort of address the continuous disruption that the world is facing, and bring a change to the way we operate today. So we have a very bold vision at Western Sydney University at Launch Pad within REI to support the Western Sydney region to become the key innovation destination for Australia. Now, Launchpad, as I said, is a tech business incubator. So we support startups, we support SMEs, and we also support our students getting the same sort of skills that we impart to the industry. We operate out of 2 sites at the moment. So we're present in Wellington, and then we're operating out of Parramatta as well. And third site, which is coming in future, is Bankstown, which is 2023. Where we're going to have the factory of the future, and which will be focused on solving and supporting the industry and solving the problems of the industry with research. So that's what our footprint looks like. Now, coming to how we do all this and how we're building the innovation ecosystem, and pardon the slide is a bit busy, so I'll walk you through the slide. So, and how are we doing it? So, by supporting an entrepreneurship culture. So, we support entrepreneurship. We want to create Western Sydney, as I said, as an innovation destination, and we bring that support together by providing the linkage to the industry, to the research and development, and also to the future workforce, which is our students. We want to build capacity, and we're doing lots of work. In fact, that's our bread and butter, building capacity in startups, building capacity in SMEs, and building capacity in students. So by providing opportunities to startups in terms of providing the support, startup acceleration, supporting SME innovation, and helping commercialize research. The research that comes out of the university, and the wonderful work that our colleagues, and some of them are here today, are doing in terms of the research and development, and also training. So that's capacity building. Then we want to do and are doing lots of work around building and supporting knowledge networks, and Sam mentioned about knowledge being the global currency, and we totally believe in it. So how do we bring and how do we create a knowledge network? By building and strengthening industry networks, by building research industry links, by providing, being a platform for government engagement and supporting industry to engage with government through the work that we do, and creating and building those network platforms that can help industry engage with our institution and with our research and with as I said, the future workforce students. Places and precincts is a big part of what we do, and that's why we have a presence already across Western Sydney, and I'll show you another map which will outline the type of work we do. So building those hubs and precincts so that they become the places for innovation and engagement, which is very important for us. Incubator, so we are a tech business incubator, and we have designed our incubator spaces to be collaborative spaces and to be those spaces that can foster collaboration and that can bring industry with the university. Maker spaces, so providing access to the industry, to SMEs in particular, to the technology and machinery and such, and of course providing facilitating those interactions. And then lastly, funding access, and a lot has been mentioned about funding. So industry needs funding, and funding is a key for continuous R&D. So we help provide those connections as well through to the funding agencies. So that's a bit on what we do now, or how we do. So this is what our footprint looks like apart from the sites. We're connected from Lithgow and Western Sydney University's footprint. So from Lithgow, Hawkesbury, Olympic Park, you can see Penrith, Parramatta, Westmead. So we are across Western Sydney, and we're building more presence and building a stronger footprint across Western Sydney, because we believe that precincts, as I said, and places are an important part of the journey that we are on. Also doing a lot of work internationally, so and that's part of what I do as well in my role. So I do a lot of work across Southeast Asia. We are doing a lot of work in Indonesia at the moment across building those connections and those networks across Western Sydney University and Indonesia in terms of advanced manufacturing. Also doing similar work in India, and starting to connect to UK and even to Africa. So a lot of our effort goes into building those connections worldwide as well, and to bring those opportunities back to the startups and to the SMEs that we work with. In terms of what we do, we focus on primarily 4 things. So university, we support, and when I say we, it's the Launch Pad. So we support universities' research commercialization. We provide the same facilities and knowledge and connections to the researchers as we provide to the other startups that we engage with. So we have a program called Western Ventures, which is providing that specialized support. Also linking our researchers and the research to industry so that we can work on the commercialization from various angles. We do a lot of work around student entrepreneurship because we strongly believe that entrepreneurship and innovation is the key to building a strong future in Australia. Startup and scale-up acceleration, obviously, and fostering those links between startups and industry to support innovation, and focusing on SME innovation through our specialized program, Western 4.0, that I'm going to talk to you about in a short while. So that's what we do. We are very focused on technology, and we believe that technology needs to be at the heart and center of all activity today, and technology is the key for a bright future for our industry as well. So as you can see that on the bottom side of the screen, the type of technologies that we support, and that comes through the work of the researchers within the university, but also us focusing on those sort of startups and those SMEs that engage or are looking to engage with these technologies. So AI, machine learning, additive manufacturing, data science, visualization, immersive technology, AR, VR, XR, neuromorphic, Industry 4.0, and now Industry 5.0, and advanced sensing and IoT. So a lot of our research and a lot of the collaboration that we do, we try to infuse these technologies through our researchers into the industry as well. And we believe that this is where the industry is headed and should be headed. Now, coming to the second part of my presentation, why Western Sydney and why focus on Western Sydney manufacturing and why we're doing the work that we're doing. Now, as we all know, and you all will be aware, that Western Sydney houses Australia's largest manufacturing region and providing 50.8 billion plus output for the national economy. And the last time I presented in 2018, this figure was 47.8. So which tells me that during even the COVID period, and now that I've updated my slides, the output has grown, which is fantastic for me to see as a researcher, as a strong supporter of manufacturing. But it also tells me that you know, they're very positive signs for manufacturing, which is really wonderful. So what we've done at Launchpad is that we established the Western 4.0 Industry Innovation Cluster, which is a small number of companies at the moment, 16 to 20, that are part of that cluster, and our aim is to grow that number to 100 plus in the next 12 months. So we call it the Advanced Manufacturing Innovation Network, and that cluster, and I'll outline some of the activities that we do within that and the type of work that we support. But before that, so why Western City manufacturing is important? Again, a busy slide. More than 9,200 firms, manufacturing firms in Western Sydney alone. These are the hot spots of my extreme right, left here. And we all know that, you know, small businesses are part, 95% of SMEs are small businesses, so they form a great part. As I said, 50.8 billion output to the economy, value add of 15.2 billion, exports 19 billion. So these figures are quite encouraging for us. Biggest employer, manufacturing is, and within New South Wales, 44% of manufacturing jobs. And then there are some key issues that I'll come to in a short while. So what do we do in across our cluster, and how in our way, in our own way, how do we want to sort of support industry development and want to support manufacturing SMEs in the West? So as I said, there's a network that we bring together, and we want to grow that network to many, many more firms than we have now, and continue to grow that network, because we believe that having a strong network of outward focus and innovation focused SMEs can bring in a lot of benefits for the industry overall. R&D support and prototyping, this is again what we do on a day-to-day basis. We connect our resources, our researchers, the groundbreaking research we do, and we sort of enable the R&D collaboration between industry and SME. And I must say that this is one of the strongest things that we do within Western 4.0 and within Launchpad. There's a lot of appetite in the industry, which is again wonderful to see, to engage in R&D. and we get that very strongly, that message from industry, and we want to support that and we want to grow that. Skills training and development, again, Sam outlined one example where additive manufacturing, we're partnering with GE and Netum to provide additive training to industry. Has been a very strong uptake, I must say. The feedback is wonderful, and there's a strong appetite, we think, in terms of those sorts of trainings in future. And finally, the fourth part of what we do is innovation management. So there were a few examples. Daniel from Omnitank has talked about business model innovation. So we do support that through the work that we do. We have a very strong network of advisors, of industry experts, and we do provide that advice to industry on how they can transform their business models and how they can infuse R&D into their business models. So these are the four things, key things that we do within the Industry 4.0 network, and this is the work that we are going to focus on in the next 2 to 3 years. And not only doing this on ground, as I said, in Western Sydney, but also having those links outside Western Sydney and building those global links as well. Now, some early findings from my research. I thought it was a great platform. I'm coming up to the 5th year into my PhD journey. I've done 3 phases of data collection. Now that all sounds pretty boring, but it's been quite an interesting journey, and a journey that I wanted to really go on, a journey that I wanted to take. So as I said, coming from manufacturing background, I've seen a lot, I've felt a lot, and that motivated me to go on this path. So why innovation, and why did I choose? Because innovation has long been identified as the key factor in economic performance, and we all know that studies and research has already proved that. We also know that SMEs play a key role. We also know that Greater Western Sydney is a key region in Australia in terms of supporting manufacturing output. Trends in New South Wales manufacturing generally mirror the trends across Australia. And we know that the environment is a bit disruptive, has been disruptive for a long time, a bit turbulent, but things are really looking up for manufacturing as well. Anyway, I won't read all of this, so I will just go over the key parts because I've got a few slides like that. And the reason why I wanted to also study, just before I move on to the next slide, the reason why I wanted to study SMEs is 2 reasons. The first reason is that SMEs form a large part of the total business community. And secondly, most of the research that has been done on larger organizations. So I wanted to focus on smaller organizations, and I wanted to focus specifically on our region. So some early findings. So I'm still writing up, but I'm doing a lot of data analysis these days, a lot of exciting work. So what I found, and again, this comes from the industry and is being reported as such, a majority of the SMEs are unsure and are hesitant, I must say, to label themselves as innovative. So when we speak to them, they say, yeah, I'm doing all right, going on for 50 years. Innovation, I'm not too sure. So again, I've not gone down to analyzing why. But it seems that we are engaging in innovation, but perhaps don't think that. And in terms of when we do bring innovation into the company, we do that because we want to maintain competitiveness, even for survival, maintaining edge in the industry, and just from that competitive point of view. Innovation is seen as time-consuming and costly, and this was one of the strongest sort of findings that I've found across my 3 phases, which again is understandable but a bit mind-boggling at the same time. And as we all know, that not all innovations are successful. and if they're successful, the success is judged by on the basis of their acceptance in the market. The main impediment that I found towards having a highly centric approach towards innovation, and innovation being at the heart and center of any SME, is that innovation is never supported as a core. I shouldn't say never. Sorry, pardon me. Innovation isn't generally supported as a core activity within the business. So it's something that we do, it's something we want to do, but at the core of the business is just maintaining business as usual, which is, again, as I said, it's all understandable. In terms of technology and competition, we are keeping up with technology, but again, mainly to maintain efficiency and bring productivity. So doing things faster, doing things better is why I want to bring technology into the company. And there's a lot of investment in the latest machinery and equipment, which is wonderful. The competition is mainly we face from the APAC region. And the competition isn't seen to be increasing or decreasing. The competition is sort of has been a constant over a long period of time, which again is quite interesting. Now, the drive of the leader and the drive of the business owner and the CEO or someone who's managing the view is the key reason behind innovation, is what comes from, strongly emerges from my findings. So the drive for innovation is usually the owner, the leader. It's innovation in SME is a leader-driven activity. Now again, which is wonderful to see as it came out of the findings. And also, if we are too comfortable in doing what we do, we're maintaining business as usual, then being comfortable can sometimes block the innovation. Government support is seen critical. By some, it is felt it can be designed a bit better. Western Sydney is a mixed bag of opportunities and challenges. There's a lot of enthusiasm for the Aerotropolis. So it was wonderful to see, and again, you know, that is like done over the last 2 years. So already there's a lot of enthusiasm for whatever is happening in Western Sydney. Now moving on, just some observation from our day-to-day work, and again goes back to what has been said previously. Knowledge and especially knowledge around you know, the key and the emerging technologies. Digital is the key for progress. Workforce, skill, reskilling, upskilling, new capabilities around the immersive technologies, capabilities around data, they're all important. Transition. So transition from traditional to digital business is there's a need for support there. Markets, we need to look at, you know, markets outside, markets bigger, and markets beyond Australia. Partnering is very, very important to developing new markets. So partnering to develop new markets to access large projects and more work than what we do. Doing all this while maintaining the business as usual, but also looking forward. And a lot of financial support is needed, and a lot of work around business model innovation will be really helpful. Last slide, very heavy, but I'll keep it very, very short. So, the back to the work that we're doing in Western 4.0, and again, this brings our combined cumulative experience from our team and all the work we do on ground. So 4 things or 4 aspects that we need to focus on. There's people, performance, processes, and products. So in terms of people, as I said, you know, building the key capability in the leaders and managers, building the digital skills, are making our education models and systems flexible so that it is easy to access training and it's easy to do the reskilling and upskilling. And we're doing at the university a lot of work around micro-credentialing just to support that, because we understand that's the need today. And future talent attraction. This is, again, very, very important. Performance is all about, developing those structures and having those structures surrounding the businesses so that the performance is at peak. And that comes to the networks that I talked about, collaborative R&D, the training schemes, the investment and marketing and such. And products, so focusing on products that embrace complexity. And again, this goes to the presentation earlier by AMGC, where we're making lots of things, but are we building complex enough things? So embracing complexity, having our products connected to the business of infusing smart into the products, and same goes to the processes, building our factories as intelligent factories, engaging with immersive technologies, and having those systems and technologies and processes to support that digitization in the business. So with that, thank you very much. Thanks for your time.